Hi guys, I just had a letter come in the mail over the weekend, and it kind of further confirmed some information that I had over a long period of time, and I wanted to bring up a subject that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. So I know that I haven't posted a lot on this um, on this screen or username, and I deleted all the ones on my other one, so this is actually going to be the first one. So hello, hi, first one. um, this one is actually going to be about what it's like to be in limbo. And what I mean by limbo is I'm currently in the process of being diagnosed for multiple sclerosis. And multiple sclerosis is a very difficult disease to be diagnosed with. You have a very long process of um, getting your tests taken care of, um, dealing with your doctors, dealing with your insurance, dealing with getting to your appointments, dealing with your symptoms, and also even figuring out that any of your symptoms have anything to do with one another. So the biggest problem for me was that I didn't have any idea that they had anything to do with each other. So to begin this whole saga, I want to tell you kind of what um, the limbo is, what MS limbo is. And it kind of has a nickname as Limboland uh, or Limbo across the board. Everybody, in chat rooms, people who are trying to be diagnosed who, just don't know, what else to call it. They're just like, I'm in limbo. I don't know, you know, I don't have a diagnosis yet. I'm just me, who's got this illness of some sort, you know, that sort of thing. Um, with a bunch of friends online, I managed to come up with a definition for what multiple sclerosis, limbo, or limboland is. It would be considered a period of time that a patient is bereft and wanting of a diagnosis and has symptoms of multiple sclerosis and cannot get a definitive answer from their neurologist. So that would be the diagnosis. They can't get the definitive diagnosis from their neurologist. I spoke specifically to a few people about doing this video and asked about their experience. And one's personal experience, her screen name is Robin51. Her personal experience and definition of limbo would be: limbo is while you wait to see how your MS will progress, because it really does take quite a while for some people to get that diagnosis. Now for others it can take a week. They might be hospitalized and actually just get everything taken care of immediately because they fell down on the job and immediately got rushed to the hospital, and boom, 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 everything got taken care of. For me, my symptoms started when I was 17. I started having weakness and numbness and tingling in my hands and feet and arms, and it would just be every now and then, and I just kind of ignore it because it was, I didn't know what it was, and it didn't really bother me, and it wasn't anything that lasted very long. And I thought, well, it's probably just part of growing up. And I mentioned it once to my mom, just in passing, and she said, "Oh, you're just thinking too hard about things." So I never really mentioned it again because I thought maybe I was making up something, that it was all in my head. And when I was 18, I had um, just moved out of my mother's house, and I was having some sort of episode. I went to the ER, and actually in the ER parking lot, I lost all the use of my legs and had some issues. So that was kind of the very, very beginning of my, issue until now. It only lasted about 10 minutes, but what they told me at that point was that my diagnosis was that I just needed potassium. So they gave me 2 potassium tablets and sent me home. But they didn't do any other testing, and it might have been, if they had done it, they would have seen, some sort of, crazy stuff going on up in my head. So up until now, I've just had little bits here and there happening. So on Saturday, like I said, I got a letter, and it told me that I had lesions and I had a flare of a certain size, and it was really devastating knowing that I'd waited all this time and been told that no, there wasn't anything going on, that it was just iron deficiency, or it was a potassium deficiency, or it was depression, or it was just these little things that could just easily be fixed. Could have been thyroid. It could have been that I was fat. I lost a lot of weight once, and I got down to 160 pounds, which is pretty good. I've gained a lot of weight back because I had a child, gained some weight then, and then I gained more weight now since I've been really inactive. And when I got down there, I was still having those same problems. I was in the hospital then, and they were still telling me, "You gotta lose weight. You gotta lose weight." And I was like, "You know what? You can't win for losing. This is, I'm down at the lowest that I've ever been, and I'm feeling great. I've been exercising, and I think I was running at that point and dancing every other night. That was my exercises. I was dancing. So that's that. Anyway, another thing that was brought up in this conversation about limbo was that doctors seem to question. No, here's what I wrote. The doctors question the process such so that it makes you feel like they don't believe a word coming out of your mouth. That seems to be the biggest thing that discourages people when they are having their diagnosis process. Excuse me. When you're going through and you're finding out that you have neuralgia in your feet, when you have prickles in your hands, or if you have problems with your eyesight, or if you find that you have weakness in your legs, or you can no longer use your left side, or any of those weird symptoms that you're finding that you're having that are related with MS, those things should never be overlooked by a doctor, and you need to advocate for yourself. Advocating for yourself is always the most important thing that you can do. Doctors are not infallible, excuse me. They sometimes don't think about you. They've got a million other things that are going on. They've got a patient next door who, broke his leg and he's got a compound fracture. They've got somebody over on the other wing who's got, security there, and they're worried that he's going to come after them with a knife. Things like that. You got to make sure that if you're in that ER or if you're at the neurologist, you have to tell them every symptom that's going on, and you need to let them know what's going on. So when you're in this middle ground, make sure to tell them everything. And also keep a log on it, because that's something that I didn't do. And I think that if I had, I could go back and say, oh, well, you know what? I forgot to tell you this last time. The doctor would be like, oh, great, I'm glad you told me that because we can do something about this. That kind of thing. I had several people telling me that writing things down really was helping, because if you do have MS and it's not just, another disease that's mimicking the symptoms of MS, it's very possible that you're going to have memory problems. And so you do want to make sure that you're writing down those things so that you don't forget, because you may not remember tomorrow or next week. So that's it. I just wanted to make sure that you had kind of an idea of what other people are going through. I know I talked a lot about random things, but I also wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what else you could do. I know it's really scary, but it does end up having a conclusion. It doesn't just go on forever. There will be an end at some point, and you will have a diagnosis. Just make sure to find a way to speak up for yourself. And if you are one of those people who speaks up for yourself, maybe you just need a new doctor. Find a new neurologist. I've already had 2. And some people have had 6 or 7, and finally they've got the right one, and that one is working for them. So I hope that helps you a lot. Thank you, and I hope to see you later. And please comment. I will respond to all the comments. Thank you. Bye-bye.